Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Wednesday, September 3rd, day 58 in the Big Brother house. And we're another day closer to an eviction tomorrow. So what's going on? In general, I was a little bit like, I don't know, yesterday. Today I'm a little bit more, okay, I kind of got an idea. And there's just a lot of wheels spinning, a lot of things. And frankly, I still can't say with certainty that Vince versus Mickey means Mickey goes home. Although, I think Mickey might go home against Vince. That's the toss-up. I think Vince is in trouble, definitely. I think Ashley is safe. At this point, Ashley appears to be safe. Ashley has, when we get to counting the votes, see, we're down to 7 votes, right? So only 4 votes are needed to evict. And so, if Ashley was on the block against Mickey or Vince would be the better one to say Ashley. So Ashley against Vince. This is the tricky-ish. Well, Vince is tricky, and Mickey, that's Mickey, tricky Mickey. That's what Ava called her. All right, I'll shut up now. So let's look at the different house guests and how they might vote. How's that? Let's take it from a different spin. Ava is considered a flip vote, or a possible flip vote, right? She is not happy with Vince. And so Ashley versus Vince is not going to be a vote to keep Vince. It's going to be a vote to evict Vince. And I don't think Vince is necessarily aware of that. And Keanu has been trying to turn Ava, as I've stated before, against Rachel and company. Right? So how about this? Let's talk about general rough alliances or sides of the house where things have kind of fallen out. Ava would be somewhere in the middle. Will would be considered on board with you almost have the judges' alliance is kind of the two sides of the house squashed together, with Morgan and Vince being on one side and Ashley, Will, and Rachel being on the other side. So then you've got the other pieces. So that's 5 of the 9 of the 10 members of the house. Keanu kind of falls on the with the Morgan and Vince side. And sorry, traffic. Mickey isn't on any side. That's probably why she's most likely to go. She's seen as not very honest and untrustworthy, and I think she kind of self-destructed herself when she used her power, and she's never really recovered from that. Lauren is also seen as a kind of a middle-of-the-road person, although we know how loyal she seems to be to Vince, but there's a chance that Vince goes. And so Lauren could have to find her footing, and different people think she's going to lean different ways. She's said she's become closer to Kelly. And Kelly, again, is another wild card. So we've got quite a few in the middle here. Kelly is, I guess I wouldn't say Kelly is in the middle. She definitely is loyal to Keanu. And don't forget, I said Keanu is on the other side of the house, but Keanu has this weird loyalty with Rachel because he doesn't want to get rid of her, but he wants somebody else to get rid of her. But while she's in the house, he's going to profess loyalty to her, right? So there's that dynamic. Again, Morgan, Vince, very tight. That brings a whole other thing, a whole other weirdness. Rachel, extremely loyal to Ashley. And I said it yesterday, and I think I've said it to you guys before. Being Rachel's number one has not worked out well for a few people. Amy didn't do well. Jimmy didn't do well. And Ashley probably is safe, it seems, but there's still that slim chance that something goes wacky and she gets voted out tomorrow. But I think she's okay. It really does feel like if Vince wins the if it comes down to Vince, I don't think Ashley's in trouble. I think Mickey goes against Ashley, and I think that Mickey goes against Ashley and Vince goes against Ashley. So I think Ashley's safe. Mickey versus Vince, pretty much watching Rachel and Ashley and Will talk last night. They seem pretty sure that there's not even a chance that Mickey stays. Matter of fact, they were debating whether to give Mickey a sympathy vote. And Will is like, I think we need to give Mickey a sympathy vote or two, and we need to have a discussion with Morgan and Rachel, the judges, he said. But those were the only two judges not in the room. And I don't think that discussion's happened yet. And I think if that discussion does happen, Vince is going to push back pretty hard against it, because it's going to imply, if he's sitting there on the block, that a couple of his alliance members may potentially give a vote to the other person to do a sympathy thing. And I would not. I'd be like, no, not now, not when it only takes 4 to evict. But that has yet to happen. That discussion. Who have I not mentioned? Rachel talked about. Vince talked about. Lauren talked about. Mickey, yes. Morgan, Keanu, Will, Ava, and Ashley. Nope. Got them all covered. One other little tidbit has been the comments online by a couple of people, and there's definitely something potential there. Is the thought that Morgan was kind of tight with Zach, right? Morgan was all about Zach, chasing Zach around, and she was mad that Lauren was close to that Zach was interested in Lauren. Well, Zach's gone. Suddenly, Morgan's tight with Vince, and she kind of wanted Lauren voted out because Lauren is close to Vince. Now, with Vince potentially leaving, people have noticed that Morgan seems to be saddling up to Keanu. And some people even say that she's laying the groundwork for, if Vince goes, that she will now be super, super tight with Keanu. It'd be interesting to see. Not a good-looking trend. There's nothing romantically going on between her and Vince, in my opinion, although it's a lot of very awkward moments, and I am sure that Vince's girlfriend is not happy about the length of hugs and the amount of physical contact that's going on, and the exchange of love yous constantly, even though it's almost a throwaway word at this point between them. They should have found a better throwaway word. Not good. So not a good look, I should say. And then so I don't know what's going to happen if Vince happens to leave tomorrow, what direction Morgan will go. But if she ends up suddenly with Keanu as her new number one super, super tight, it'll just be, the tongues will be wagging online for sure. Oh, what else? I think that's the major stuff that I choose to talk about. I'm dodging one thing that I'm just going to leave it alone. It just is a hole that I'm just not going to jump in this morning. And it's nothing game related, so it doesn't matter. I think we're about it. It's some more stuff will happen today. Some more talks. Some more game stuff and figuring things out. But it really does seem like things are starting to kind of settle out. And the question is, now that this is the jury, is anybody going to take a shot at Rachel? I haven't heard Ashley, and I don't know who Ashley would necessarily tell, but is Ashley a ride or die with Rachel? I haven't heard people say, when are we going to get rid of Rachel lately? That doesn't mean they haven't said it. I just haven't heard it discussed. And Keanu's probably said it the most. He wants other people to get rid of Rachel. He's probably the most vocal about getting rid of Rachel lately. So, yeah. Yep, it's interesting when she's sitting in that final two seat next to somebody. We said it from the very beginning. We said it that it's a very strong possibility that alumni make it to the final two seat for whatever reason. Whether it's because people think they can get them out all the time, because people are afraid to take the shot, they don't want to be the one to do it. They think they can do it later. It's just and the advantage that being that big of a personality in the house gives you. Yeah. I feel every day somebody makes a comment about how, they didn't want Rachel in the house. They wish she wasn't in the house. I don't want alumni in the house with non-alumni. That's for sure. But I've said it enough times, and it's no particular offense to Rachel. It's just it messes with the house dynamics. So, all right. I think. Oh, you know what? No, I will venture into the world of a comment about Kelly. And because I kind of stuck my foot in my mouth in something I said yesterday, I do want to clarify it a tiny bit. So there was a lot of Kelly bashing going on yesterday or the day before, and I may have even talked about it a little bit yesterday, about her comment that her obvious non-awareness of how the live feeds work, her non-awareness of Big Brother in general. She just doesn't seem to have done any kind of a homework. She was a recruit, and she just doesn't seem to know some of the mechanics of Big Brother, or just have a realization of how to make things work. Maybe worse than Keanu was. We tease about him, but she's even said, I don't understand how the live feeds work. So there are a lot of people online upset that she's on the show, that she didn't do her homework about the show and how it works. And this is where, and I said it kind of flippantly. I kind of just said it off the cuff, but I said some of these people sound like they're jealous that she made it on the show and they're not on it. That was not directed towards most people. That was me getting a bit exasperated with the amount of people that just seem to look for reasons to be mad about Kelly and mad that she's on the show. I'm not a Kelly supporter. I don't particularly. The only thing I said is she stirs the pot. She keeps things going. She causes chaos. And for me, it's like, hey, I'll take chaos. It is what it is. But I get it that some people are like, she shouldn't have been on the show. She shouldn't have been cast. But that, to me, that's not Kelly's fault. That's the casting people's fault. They knew what they were getting with Kelly. They knew, they had to have known, or they should have known, that they were getting someone who, and I think that's what they thought they were getting, is someone who would be willing to just take the big shot, to disrupt, to cause problems. And I guess, and people would say that, well, they're told that these feeds are live. They're told all these things. Why isn't she paying attention? And I'm just like, I don't know, but she made it on the show. So what's, I just don't get the anger, and it's like, what are you going to do? It's what is, the parable about the snake, you knew what I was. You knew I was a snake, and you still trusted me. It's like the casting people should have known the kind of person they were getting, and she's turned out to be that. So I've said a couple things online that have come across as a bit, being a kind of a bit of a jerk, I suppose. And some people have gotten angry or frustrated with me, and I didn't mean anything by it. And those people are not listening to this anyways. There's a select people that listen to me, and those probably aren't those people anyways. But it's just, I'm whatever with Kelly. She's not going to be on another reality show. She's going to be, she'll probably disappear. She may. I just don't think. I think there have been lots of people like Kelly on other shows, but the editing has prevented, they don't show that stuff. So they don't show Kelly. They're not going to show Kelly saying, I've never known about the live feeds on the TV show. But again, it is what it is. So I'm Kelly. I'm like, whatever. And sorry that annoys people, that I'm not super anti-Kelly for those reasons. I don't care for some of the things she says. And there's a whole other camp that says the things Kelly says are no worse than Rachel said in previous seasons. And I don't even remember. I don't even know. I don't really care. And it was 15 years ago when Rachel was on, and it's a different world, right? It is a different world. Things that Rachel said on Big Brother 13 would definitely raise all kinds of flags now. But it's not then. And so it's like, I'm not holding people to the fire over that kind of stuff. She's 15 years older. It's a different quote time. And so, whatever. This is not, I wouldn't do that to other people generally. And so I'm not doing it to Rachel. All right, now this is why I wasn't going to even bring this stuff up, but there you go. That's my spin on Kelly. She's not leaving this week, so she's around for another week. She seems very unhappy a lot of the time. It's very hard to find pictures of her smiling. She seems to have a grimace on her face a lot of the time. She did say last night to somebody that, I think it was Kiana, she said that Rachel brings out the mean girl in her, and she doesn't like that. Well, I don't know if that's a viable excuse. I don't know if that's I told you she brings out the mean girl in me, so you got what I said, but I'm not. I don't know. All right. On that fun note, I'm going to sign off. Wish you guys a happy Wednesday, and we will pick this up tomorrow. I doubt there's going to be anything huge going on today, so other than more scheming, and I will fill you in on the status of that tomorrow morning before the eviction. We're less than 36 hours out. But that's still a lot of time. But I don't anticipate there being any major shifts in the house. I think if I had to bet, Ashley is safe. Vicky, which means Vinny goes out against Ashley, and Mickey goes out against either Ashley or Vinny. I think that's where it lays out. So Mickey needs to win the blockbuster, or else she's going to go out. And if Mickey does win the blockbuster, then Vinny will probably leave. And there you have it. There's your quote expert opinion. Have a safe one, have a good one, and we will talk to you all tomorrow. Thank you again, as always, for your support. It is appreciated. We'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.